Alrighty. Hello and welcome. This is Nanthelas versus KumaKid. Joining me on cast is Monitors? I actually don't know.
Manatters, hey.
Monitors, what's up? All right, so I'm
Not
gonna
much.
I'm gonna pull up the picks and bans. Let's get this going, and then we can hop in. So off the bat, we've got KumaKid banning Gallery, while Nonetheless is banning Balcony. Cat is going crazy. KumaKid restricting Tayen, Nonetheless restricting Redwoods to occlusion venues. KumaKid then doubling Modern, and we've got Nonetheless doubling Ballroom, KumaKid picking Library, and then Nonetheless picking KumaKid's restrict of Tayen. So fairly standard. Nothing, no Redwoods picks here from KumaKid. So some fairly straightforward venues. I'm interested to see some Modern. I've enjoyed watching it this season, and I've liked the changes. So, do you have any insight on this match? I don't know too much. I don't have much insight. I didn't look at too many of the statistics beforehand. So.
No, I know that KumaKid, I believe, is higher up in the standings right now than Nanthelas.
Oh yeah, I wanted
Uh,
to look at the points.
but I know that Nanthelas has been playing a lot more lately. He's been streaming, so
Right.
I'm expecting him to sort of pick it up at the end of the season here.
Yeah, I saw that. Nonetheless, has been around for quite some time, like early-ish Spy Party, I think, or at least like season 4, whereas KumaKid is a bit newer.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get in. I've got the first game ready. I'm assuming you do as well.
Yep.
Okay, so let me get this transitioned. And Alice will be up first. Let me make sure everything's right. Nonetheless, yep. And three, two, one, playing it. So nonetheless, starting out here, waiting for the ST to settle, and unfortunately the ST lands at the side left statues here on Ballroom, so we're just going to kind of hang out innocently, but we are going to pick up a highlight for possibly flirting with Kane. We're standing kind of in the same spot right on top of him, so KumaKid worried about a flirt pair here. We've also got General and Tex who've each picked up a highlight, I believe, for probably a flirt pair as well.
Yeah, interesting to start out the set with flirt pairing. Maybe he knows that Nanthelas likes to get really close early flirts and kind of commit to that before doing anything else.
Yeah, and unfortunately, unknowingly, Nonetheless chased the suspected incorrect flirt pair to the next conversation. I'm not sure if we actually ended up talking. Let me get caster mode on here. ST comes to us, and we'll actually pick up our first flirt for 49%.
Yeah, it's a big cost if you flirt pair somebody incorrectly.
Yeah, and it's something that I've tried to be more cognizant of when I'm playing My Spy is watching out for incorrect flirt pairs, like going next to the same AI who's not my ST multiple times because I've gotten in trouble for that before where it just, randomly end up next to someone too many times and I get incorrectly flirt paired and shot for it.
Stepping into middle statues to get inspects done. Not sure what he's going to do after that. Probably try to get a little bit closer to Walt for the second flirt. Maybe get the 51%.
Yeah, and if KumaKid is camping flirt this hard, it may be a little bit dangerous to go for, two direct close flirts like that. We are in a position to bug. Let's watch sniper cam here to see if KumaKid can catch it, but and nonetheless does go for it, and the bug sticks.
So I was going to say on the first path, kind of a mistake to not bug since you took that path that they couldn't see, but gets a good wrong arm bug coming back from the pad. Just wanted to set it up.
Yeah, I definitely want to look at that in the replay. Bit of
Yeah, there's a
a
chance that her arm was way out there.
bit of a quick visit on the books. I don't think it was illegal, but it just seemed a little bit fast. I think the ambassador just took a drink, so we might have some options there. Hopefully we didn't just break animation leaving that conversation. I couldn't tell.
This is a really good contact. I think you have to do it soon before
Yeah.
things like that happen and people start leaving.
It would actually be about 5 lowlights, one other real, and two people who are fake in their own convo. So this one conversation is full, but that's actually quite a few lowlights. So realistically, the only targets for Kuma should be Disney General, Duke, and Alice. So if I was sniping, this would and I could take the time to actually look at everything, I would narrow this down to about 4 people.
Yeah, and I guess I say good contact relative to our mission progress because I don't
Yeah,
think
he
that that
needed it.
contact is bad enough to get shot for this last flirt.
Right, right, right. I agree. We're gonna head in. Let's see if KumaKid is gonna shoot for a flirt finish, which is traditionally a little bit harder to take. Laser is hovering. We zoom in and we take the shot.
I
How
mean,
much time was left on that?
maybe a second and a half. Do you know who
Second and a
she
half,
was
yeah.
flirting with? She was flirting with Kane there.
Was she
He was in
really?
that
No
conversation.
way.
Yeah,
See? See, you've got to watch out for the incorrect flirt pairing. I wonder if Kuma shot for the flirt with Disney or with Kane. If I remember, I'm gonna ask him about that because I could. It's definitely plausible either way. Obviously, with Kane, it's very obvious because we were near him so often, but we did kind of chase Disney here, twice. I mean, was that a two flirt or was it a three flirt?
it was a three flirt because it was a cross for the second one.
Okay. So yeah, I'll be interested to know where that pairing came from or who it was with. Let's take a look at that bug again. I want to watch it from Spy side this time. Oh wow, that's actually really cool. If you look at that on Spy, instead of just going left and using the left hand, he goes right and then does like a 180 so that it starts as a wrong arm bug.
Yeah, it
I
does a full windmill.
yeah, how does that look on Sniper? Oh, you can't see any of that. The Kuma could not see any of that, and which is probably self-evident because there was no shot. But no, that looked really good. That's a very creative bug. I don't know if I've seen someone do this whole 180 U-turn to get the wrong arm, so I really like that. And that's going to be the first point for Nanthelas. Strong start to get a spy win on Ballroom against KumaKid.
It wasn't a spy win.
Oh yeah, you're right. I just gave the wrong point. I
Yeah, it got shot at the very last second.
That's right. Almost a spy win. It was a really good round by Nonetheless. That bug was really good, and yeah, that kind of made me forget. Yeah, that's an insane shot by Kuma to get a flirt finish with a second and a half left. My bad. All right, let's take a look at what Kuma does on spy as Oprah in 3, 2, 1, playing it. See, I'm glad you're here because I would have given the wrong point over.
I'm sure somebody in chat would have corrected you.
Maybe.
I've heard Opie likes to make sure the scoreboard is correct.
Hope he never watches my streams. He hates me. First flirt for 39%. We're kind of standing pretty forward in this conversation. It looks like we're almost even off pad. I'm not sure if that's going to mean anything to Nonetheless.
It might mean something if the conversation fills up, but I've seen so many AIs just be in terrible spots in conversations.
And we're going to go for a contact split into crash bug that's lined up pretty well with the pillar. The only thing that we're going to be suspected for is kind of just the path there. I don't believe that the bug was really visible. And you've got Nonetheless who at that time was likely distracted by banana bread and got 2 low lights. So KumaKid in a very commanding position here. We've got bug on the board. We've got contact. We're going to pick up our second flirt any moment now. Probably, I guess if it's a green, it's going to be a 3 flirt game anyways.
Yeah, and you call that a contact split. That was like it was like a star bursting. Every single person split on that contact.
Oh, really?
All four of them just dispersed. The conversation completely disappeared after the contact.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Nonetheless, is going to be in a very tough position to take a shot here. And at this point, what I suspect is KumaKid is going to go to mid statues. Because if you can go to mid statues with this much time on the board, you're not going to get shot for it. You're just going to get highlit. And surprisingly, KumaKid is electing to go for a fingerprint finish. Or at least start on it.
I kind of like this. There's a good chance that the ambassador can get somewhere where he can take a drink here and right now, but he might
Yeah,
leave before.
in my opinion, I think you could get shot for finishing fingerprints this early, but I don't know if you're going to get shot for finishing inspects this early. I don't know. That's just how my mind thinks about it, I guess. Or maybe just kind of the people that I play. It's like, you don't finishing with most people aren't finishing with inspects at a minute 30, But I mean, finishing fingerprint at this point I would read it exactly as what it is. Like they must have gotten something else done and they're trying to finish early. But nonetheless, I mean, we're not really chasing down a fingerprint, so he's doing a bit of active idling, and I think fingerprint, as you were saying, is probably going to net a win here.
Well, that's only if the ambassador touches something else.
Briefcase
There,
down.
they just dropped the briefcase.
And our first fingerprint was from Book, so it's not like we're going to double briefcase here. It looks like Kuma's going to go for it. Yeah, this would be a pretty hard shot to take to shoot for a briefcase finish. We are down to 20 seconds.
And that painting pad stay was a little bit quick, but I don't think that it was quick enough for them to like really catch their eye or anything.
Yeah, nonetheless, just not even really watching Oprah here. And that's, I mean, that's hard to catch. That's a statueless ballroom win, which is just really, really strong. And KumaKid ends up getting the spy win for it on the second round of ballroom. So, and who?
Yeah, and statueless without having to do a purloin.
Right. And this was nonetheless's double.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a good bug past somebody on ballroom, it's really hard to lose that spy game. We saw it in the first game that it just came down to flirt pairing maybe.
Right. Well, looks like nonetheless is also going to play Oprah on ballroom, hoping to get a spy win here in three, two, one, playing it.
I'm glad Smallman is the actual double agent and not the suspected, because I feel like if I was in Nanthelas' spot, I would be like, oh, center statue Smallman. I want to frame him.
Right. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about having Smallman as real DA though, because then he can't be a frame target.
I kind of like it just because sometimes it's hard to tell what conversation he's in, especially on a venue like Ballroom or Tan.
We have a pending swap here. Double inspect and pending swap.
And a highlight for statues is going to go get it.
And I expect a possible purloin here. Waiter offering drink. Stops offering drink. Statue was swapped. I'm not sure. I was actually looking over at the guest list while the statue was being swapped, so I'm not sure if the fade was possible. Mom is going to pick up a highlight in the meantime. And not much of a reaction to the swap as of yet. Kuma may be stopping and thinking or just making mental notes.
Yeah, and actually, I don't think Twin was a statue highlight. I think it was just a Twin highlight.
Gotcha.
Pearls
So,
is going to do her second middle statues.
so the swap thus far looking pretty strong here.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's narrowed down the party at all. We do get a
Here we
highlight.
go.
Oh, maybe they just saw it.
That's crazy that they saw it that late. Maybe Kuma knew all along and was just kind of waiting to see if anything was going to happen. Sometimes I'll do that because right now, from Nonetheless's perspective, seeing the laser bounce around like this, if this happened right after the swap, then Nonetheless then knows that KumaKid saw it in time and that Nonetheless himself is a very high level suspect. With such a delay in this way, it's harder for Nonetheless to tap into that and then may do something to reveal themselves as the spy because they think that they're safe. Not sure that that's what happened in this case, but in the meantime, Nonetheless is going to take a green BB split, or a green purloin split into the third statue to pick up the third inspect, and will enter mission win countdown with no contact and half of a fingerprint on the board.
Yeah, it's a pretty good two hardtail game just because they're both greens. But if you if you have the party narrowed down and then a purloin goes off that one person is not involved with at all, it's going to be pretty hard to win that spy game.
Yeah, and KumaKid takes the shot. Again, Kuma, like, Nonetheless is getting some really good plays through, in my opinion, with, I want to see the swap here. With
Yeah,
just
totally.
these hardtails and these green swaps, green purloins, all of these nice things that you want as spy. Um, And unfortunately, KumaKid is just able to stay on top of it.
Yeah, I think that if that was a if they started with the center statue for that swap,
Right.
um, and then did the Purloin right away, but there was just too much time for KumaKid to really get their bearings and figure it out.
Yeah, I had time to kind of sit and parse it and figure out who had done it. So hopefully Nonetheless can get a sniper win here on Ballroom to exit the venue at least 1-3 on their doubled pick. Let's see what happens. We've got KumaKid on Rocker in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Takes control and goes away from seduction target. That was interesting.
I mean, I can't believe that shot from the one game with the second and a
First
half
game.
left. Yeah.
Yeah, that one really felt like Nanthelas had it.
Mhm. And yeah, we did see KumaKid avoid the ST. ST is now currently at mid statue, so we kind of have to. In the meantime, we're going to pick up a briefcase in the back to grab a fingerprint. We're watching the Ambassador, and we're going to go for the delivery. Ambassador bounces off of Duke in a combo, so we immediately stop. Pretty decent timing, I think. And we're going to go ahead and set it down and not do the full return. In the meantime, sorry, our seduction target has stepped into green books with small men, so the case is currently full. We're going to hang out on the side window to wait for the ST to settle down.
Yeah, that briefcase actually looked really good. It seemed like we were required to go get it, and then the actual return was really good too.
Yeah, it was a big time investment, right? Some spies may just set it down and move on to their next objective, but Kuma invested a lot of time in waiting for the ambassador um, while trying to deliver it, so that could earn him some points in lowering suspicion. KumaKid gonna step into center statues, only grab 2 inspects, but also go for the green swap, which is currently pending.
Yeah, 3 cycled and only got 2 inspects.
Oh, that's rough. Pearl stepping in for the swap. Nonetheless, kind of angling to look for it, but the guest list is right over top. Nonetheless, highlights Pearls for stepping in. Swap goes off
Oh, that was really good. They're going to get shot for it, but I like them going right next to
to
try and
block it.
block
Yeah.
swap.
Okay, so that's good. Nonetheless, picking up a point before exiting ballroom. 1-3 is not terrible, not a terrible spot to be in. Obviously, you'd prefer to be up or tied or whatever, but at least you're not 0-4.
Yeah, where are they going second? Library?
Modern.
Oh, Modern. Yeah, Modern's one that it's pretty hard to get a spy win by, so it might come out 5-3 after.
I feel like it's much more possible on the 4-8 though, instead of the
Yeah,
5-8.
it's more. It's not just a losing effort, but
Right.
it's still really hard just because of how much the sniper can see at any one time.
True. Yeah, it's certainly not as easy as something like Ballroom, Tayan, Redwoods. There's some of these venues that, it's a much more aquarium as well. It's much more viable to get a spy win. Some of the venues like Library, in particular, it's just the sniper win rate is so high, and Modern probably as well. I haven't looked at the win rates for this season, but there's just not as much occlusion. It's a very big venue. And so it's just a little bit harder to get the 4 of 8 missions complete without the sniper catching you.
Yeah, on those other venues you mentioned, I feel like you can get a spy win even with an inactive party.
Hmm.
I feel like on Modern it really requires the party to kind of be hectic.
Yeah, and there's so many conversation circles. There's what, four or
Yeah,
five? There's
four.
four. Yeah. So people tend to kind of stick around for a while. I mean, there's a lot of statues inside windows, but yeah, you're right. It does greatly depend on the activity of the party, especially regarding bar. Sometimes a ton of people go to bar, and sometimes no one goes to bar, and that can greatly affect how you play your spy game. So let's see how Nonetheless handles the new Modern in 3, 2, 1, playing it. These two making it easy for me by not switching up the spy. I don't have to change some of the stream controller. So
Yeah, just pick whatever they just picked.
hmm Nonetheless, starting out with bar, there was two other AIs there that were not SDAs.
That's also a big risk on spy on Modern is sometimes you'll be at a full bar and it's just all SDAs.
Yeah. picking up our first flirt in the front left conversation with Smallman for 34%. We've now had a total of like, what, 3 or 4 people go to bar, including us?
Yeah, I think Wheels went a little bit later, and then that's been it since then.
So,
Well,
like, we just got to highlight? Or are these bar highlights? These are,
well, they are bar highlights, except for I don't know what Salmon got highlight for.
I think, taking a book out early.
But it seemed like maybe they wanted to decide what they wanted to use their highlights for first before they committed.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Kuma doing a little bit of what I do with highlights, where it's just used on suspicion as well as to track certain things. Sometimes I'll kind of highlight for fingerprint and I'll highlight for suspicious stuff like taking out a book early or, doing X or Y. And I usually can just remember why they're highlight.
Yeah, the difference of using it to track purely or using it to just kind of see them better.
Wheels with a really weird path there. Did you see that? Wheels just went through the front right conversation for seemingly no reason, just walked through part of it.
Yeah, unfortunately it's Wheels, so you can pretty certainly tell that he didn't bug.
Yeah, no bug, and I don't even think we were close enough, but it was a very weird pathing decision. It's either really suspicious or really not suspicious. We're going to go for a white contact that I would say is probably inadvisable if you look at the rest of the venue. Other than this one conversation, we have a ton of people out, and the other conversations are very sparse in how many people are in them. I think from KumaKid's perspective, you can assume Real is on that front left combo near the bar with the off chance of it being Mom or Smallman trying to do some kind of weird play.
Yep, Tex just got the low lit even though he was in that fake conversation, so
Yeah.
assumed real.
Mom picks up a highlight for being close to Taft. Probably a bug credit over to Mom. She could have had the weird contact into bug credit. Nanthelas, in the meantime, is stepping into the front right statues, picks up 2 inspects, currently has contact, 2 inspects, and 60% of a seduce with a minute and 5 left on the clock.
Yeah, which you think is a lot of good progress, but if you finish inspects and your flirts and something else here in this last minute, it's gonna be seen. I kind
Non-
of like that play.
yeah, Nanthelas tending to agree with you, goes to add time at the front left window pad and goes for a really not advisable bug here. Yeah, very desperate bug. I'm not quite sure what the thought is there. I mean, I think from Nautilus' perspective, you've got the laser. I just want to kind of maybe look at some of the lasering position.
Oh, it's far left. It's like the easiest
Yeah,
to
I mean
see.
it's pretty much being guarded, and the problem with a bug like this is okay, sometimes obvious bugs like this just in the open while you're walking past are good, but it's usually when there's something else to pull the sniper's attention, and in this current party, the ambassador's not in danger. They're at the bar. It's also who we're going for, and the guest list isn't in danger because the only person at bar is the ambassador taking the drink. So from the sniper's perspective, they really don't have anything to watch. There's also no other AIs at statues, so the sniper shouldn't be really watching for swap either. The only thing the sniper is looking at is maybe someone at the book here and people talking in conversations. So there's really only one thing for KumaKid to be watching at this moment, and that's this bug. And he is, and Nonetheless gets shot for it.
Yeah, and takes it so far away from the ambassador that, like, one, it's never going to take, and two, your arm is wide out in the open.
Yeah. Yeah, a
Like
little
I
bit of
think,
a desperation bug there. I think that win was still possible. Obviously, we didn't know what our fourth mission was going to be, but could have probably waited a bit longer before trying to force something like that bug.
yeah, I think you would have had to like curl into the bar for that bug to.
Yeah, needed to be a little bit closer. Let's see if Nautilus can pick up another sniper win as KumaKid steps in as Boots in 3, 2, 1. Playing it.
Yep, we're playing all female characters today.
It has been all female characters, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm. which I feel like I tend to favor the female characters too, just because they're smaller models, and a lot of them have good bugs. Boots not being one of them that has a particularly good bug.
Right. Well, take notes, those of you in.
In copper.
I was gonna say, I think it's copper, right? Yeah, you're in copper.
Tend to favor though just means maybe I'll switch off of Disney once every 20 rounds. So
And here again, we see KumaKid not necessarily chasing down the flirt. Then again, it was a little bit hard because our ST has been kind of bouncing around to different mission sites. We're going to elect to go for a white time ad off screen because the sniper was rotated all the way around to the far right. We've got the two right conversations pretty packed, and the ambassador was in a bit of danger.
yeah, the back right had the ambassador completely like bombarded on both sides. So getting a time ad there, even though we're the only person at windows, seems pretty easy to sneak by.
Yeah, we also stepped up to the front window with our ST to pick up our first flirt for 37%, and we are now in conversation with the real double agent. But the BB, not too great. Only two full conversations and a lot of people out.
Yeah, and it seems like the people that are doing anything are the ones that are out. So I feel like you don't want to eliminate them. Like Pearls has been to statues, has a print, now going to bar. You don't want to knock her out.
Yeah, and that's one thing that you'll see a good spy do is they're going to keep track of the other AIs and try to keep some of those high priority, those high threat targets as possible spies by making sure that they are in for contact. Now would be a great time for a contact. Pearls just entered and started talking. We elect to go for the white flirt, up to 71%. I would say uh, that's unfortunate. I would say try to get a contact and frame Pearls for the delegate there.
I think that contact that they could have just taken would have been even better, just because Pearls just moved to another conversation. It looks like, oh, double agent just got there. Let me go get that contact. Instead, they're going to do a fake that might become real for the sniper. Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate timing.
Pearl's taking a
Nonetheless,
split on it, though.
yeah, nonetheless electing to go for lowlights here. And I KumaKid is in a little bit of danger. Yes, we got a time ad, but we're still our only mission progress is flirt at 71%. We've now done two banana breads and we only have a minute 55.
Was there another banana bread, too?
Oh, we didn't take the first one. My mistake. I thought we took
Oh,
the
like,
first one.
man, I missed it. I
It,
like this down modern.
did we just go
Just
book to book?
the other, yes. It does not get noticed.
Yeah, and very good cover because those two right conversations are filled with, characters that really any characters helps to cover it. So it's a little bit harder to see, especially from Nonetheless' sniper position. He's not rotated all the way around to the left. He's kind of hanging on this mid right. So it's a bit obscured by all the people standing around. Now would be a good time for BB. We've got three very full conversations, only two people out. We go for the banana bread. Unfortunately, one of the couple people that are out ends up being Pearls, and Nonetheless is going to take a civ shot onto Duke, who's talking during that white BB.
Yeah, not totally sure what Duke did. I didn't. I noticed he went to the back left statues, the one by the bar, but I don't know what else he did other than have the real banana bread.
Yeah, let's take a look. So he did first statue, bar. Where is he? Hangs out. Could be working on flirt here. Green book, fingerprint, highlights for fingerprint, front window, talk string BB. Yeah, I don't think he finished fingerprint. I don't think he finished inspect, but he was doing, missions here and there. I would say that Nonetheless probably could have, even if he was suspicious of Duke, could have just watched him for a little bit longer and wait for an inspect finish or wait for a fingerprint finish because I don't think fingerprints was done. Um,
No, I don't think it was done by anybody.
right.
Maybe Salmon, but he's a low light.
Yeah, we'll see if Nonetheless can hopefully pick up a spy win here as they are currently down 5-1 to prevent Kuma from getting one of the marbles. We'll be stepping in as Bling Twin in 3, 2, 1, planet.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of an opportunity to sweep the singles, but library's pretty tough to get the spy win if you've been struggling. Although Nanthelas' spy, with the exception of that bug, has been really good.
Yeah, I agree. He's had some really that kind of U-turn bug I really liked. He's been landing the green tests that you need to land with the purloins and the swaps. So nonetheless, his spy has been very strong. It's just that KumaKid's sniper is crazy.
So that time ad that we just took at the beginning of that game
Mhm.
has like huge cost benefit because if they notice it, you just knocked out 5 people that are at statues. But if they're watching the statues, then they're not going to notice it at all. So it's just really dependent on if they notice it quick or not.
Yeah, and in the meantime, nonetheless picks up a highlight. Um, Not sure what for. It might have been suspicion on the time end, to be honest, because who was it? Boots that was next to us at the other statue, and she's not highlit.
Yeah, there was 5 or maybe 6 statue goers in the first 30 seconds, and only it looks like 3 of them got highlight.
Could have been a flirt pair for nonetheless chasing Boots to that statue. Nonetheless, currently at 51% of a flirt, 2 inspects, just picked up a drink, and the delegate in pocket with 3:28 left on the clock steps into the back left conversation with only the ambassador here. Looks like we're going to do some active idling.
I think just interrupt the ambassador a few times, although not now that your flirt pair is here.
Yeah, we do have that fake flirt pairing with us.
If that actually happened earlier and it's going to happen here again, that's just the most unlucky.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think might be finishing statues right now. Nope. Getting a little lit for going to bar.
Yeah, interesting low light. Was there any type of pathing or etiquette thing that I wasn't watching for that deserved this low light, or is it
Just walked
mostly
straight
behavioral?
there. Yeah, just walked across the venue straight to the bar. I think that KumaKid might really be watching people flirting and notice that Sorry hasn't been near anybody in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, it definitely feels that way, right? I mean, we've seen a lot of flirt pair highlights on Ballroom, and I think possibly this time as well.
And it's probably even easier to get them on Modern just because if somebody's next to somebody, it's a lot more noticeable because there's so much space. There's also a lot more to keep track of, I feel like. So it's a lot more risky to be worrying about flirts that much.
Yeah, however, I mean, if KumaKid is dedicating a bit of their mental stack to flirt pairing, that could explain why there was such a delay on seeing the swap on Ballroom that took so long to react to. It could be that they're just committing a lot of their energy and mind to looking at flirt pairing. And here, nonetheless, did chase Mom. However, right when we get there, Mom ends up leaving.
Yep, and not in with a real double agent, so not going to get a contact there. He might be doing the same book play that KumaKid just did.
Yeah, the conversations are pretty decent for it. The back right is filled, the front right has got a few people, and now the ambassador steps in, um, who is a
Oh,
taller
I thought he
character.
just walks right past that bookshelf, though.
Yeah, not as willing to go for that hardtail cheese there.
Everybody's leaving Nanthelas this game.
Highlights onto the two SDAs. So I think those two highlights are Kuma Kid's way of suspecting that it's one of those two, while Smallman is not, because right now would be a good time for BB, and those two were outside of conversation. Therefore, it's probably one of those two and not Smallman. However, nonetheless goes for a fake BB, which is definitely going to throw off Kuma Kid's correct assumption.
Unfortunately, it's not going to matter, I feel like.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to mission win, and that fake BB is going to convince KumaKid that Smallman was the real double agent, and therefore Plain Twin and Mom pick up highlights. But as you said, I don't think it's going to matter. We're just committing to a timeout here.
Yeah, really rough. Just couldn't get flirts done, couldn't get contact done. Doesn't go for that book cheese. Just nothing really lines up.
Yeah, and that's what can be a bit hard about Modern is its size and kind of suffers from some of the things that happens on Gallery where there's just so many pads because there's so many side window pads on this one, right? So sometimes your DA doesn't cooperate and sometimes your ST doesn't cooperate because there's just so many things for them to be pulled into doing that they just don't help you out. And we did see the ST bail on Nonetheless on towards the end there, so very
Yeah,
unfortunate.
there's probably the most window pads on this, right? More than veranda or library.
I mean, there's quite a few. You've got one, two, three, four,
Oh, I
but they're
mean
but
like,
they're but they're big.
yeah,
Yeah, in actual size, yeah, they're huge. So
that
let's
was even with that early timeout. They couldn't get anything done.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. So thus far, KumaKid, we're at 6-1. So KumaKid has picked up a marble or an SCL point for the match. So at best, for nonetheless, it could end up as a tie. We'll see what happens in three, two, one. Playing it.
Yeah, and KumaKid looking to really like keep their spot towards the top of the standings in
Who
silver.
who's currently in first in silver? Do you know?
Turn.
Turnip. Oh, okay.
And his only two unplayed matches are,
Checker.
yeah, I think it's Checker and Doom. So two people that dropped.
Well, zero dropped. Did Checker officially drop? I don't think Checker's dropped.
Oh, Checker didn't drop, but sometimes I just don't count him.
Yeah, he's gonna play. I think he saves up all of his matches and plays them all like in 1 week at the end.
Yeah, and usually if you're like the seventh or eighth person in a row, he kind of crushes you.
Yeah. So KumaKid starting off with an Innocent Green Book visit. And KumaKid's play just reminds me of that same saying that I keep saying over and over that people play the spy like it would beat their sniper. So again, we saw KumaKid really prioritize flirt pairing. So what does KumaKid do on spy? He doesn't chase down his ST. He starts out by spending a bit of time doing something innocent and then going for his ST.
Yep, we saw that exact same thing on Ballroom where he would actively turn around and go the opposite direction at the beginning.
Got some
There's finally a few people going to bar. This has been a pretty inactive party.
Yeah, not a lot of bar action. I don't think we've seen any delegates go through. We did have, I think, nonetheless do a delegate, but the timer had expired. And I'm excited to see if these two players end up staying in silver. I have a feeling that their next set will be, and this could technically still end 6-6, don't get me wrong. But I have a feeling that it will be a lot closer, up until this point. 7 games in, I think we'll see it be a bit closer. I think that, nonetheless, as we said earlier, his spy has been really strong and has just had a bit of bad luck. KumaKid Sniper also exceptionally strong. So I think if nonetheless keeps practicing and staying active, the next time they play, it'll be a bit closer, at least for the first 7 games.
The next time they play, like in a different season.
Yeah, next season.
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure you only play each other once in silver.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's season 7.
All right, so reject cheese from the bar and then takes a bug. Um, it looks like the bug path was noticed, but no shot.
Yeah, laser follow us. It follows us. It looked like it was a pretty good bug. I think it was wrong arm, if I'm not mistaken.
And the highlight might actually just be for, I'm pretty sure that that was actually a delegate and not just a reject.
Delegate trick.
Yeah.
Real BB. This would be the moment to send it.
I'll tell you what, that's a pretty good BB for Modern. All the DAs are in conversation, which just doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, and again, some of the luck just really favoring KumaKid again this set with, something like that BB. Obviously, it was good timing to go for it because the conversations were very full, but also the fact that all of the SDAs were in convo.
And he didn't send anybody to the bar, did he?
No, I do not believe that he did. So I don't think he delegate tricked it, especially considering that he's stepping back into bar now. So we'll probably see delegate as fourth mission, considering 35 seconds. Wonder if we are going to go for an instant. We don't. So we've got delegate in pocket, 30 seconds left. Fourth mission is likely going to be purloining the guest list. We'll see where KumaKid goes. Steps to the conversation up front. I'd like to see KumaKid delegate to Duke, who's got a book in hand, but if you're going to make that move, you've got to do it now. I think he.
Well, and sometimes it falls apart because they just don't actually ever go to the bar.
Yeah, and there's three people at bar now, so this is going to be a bit hard because it's going to be a while before the SDA can get a drink here. We delegated to um, the
The
double
actual,
agent. Yeah, I like it.
I'm
I'm,
not sure what's going to happen on this overtime
I'm a
because it should come off. There's plenty of time on this.
Yeah, I'm a fan of delegating to the DA here because typically the sniper is just not going to be watching to see the double agent take a list. Nonetheless, is on top of it though, lines up the shot, takes it, and it lands, shooting KumaKid, taking their second point in the set.
Yeah, that's really strong by both of them there.
Hmm.
The delegate to the double agent for overtime, it's something really weird that doesn't happen very often. If they know you did it, then sure, it's going to be an easy shot. But if they don't, it's going to be a really tough shot.
Right. Taking a look at the bug again, it is a wrong arm bug, and unfortunately for the sniper, he's lined up with the pillar, so he doesn't kind of see the turn and the start of the animation. So ends up being a pretty good bug, but I did feel that after that point, Nanthelas kind of had an extra eye on Mom. There was the highlight, and the laser just kind of tended to stay near KumaKid a bit. So yeah, I felt like he was kind of watching him. So
Yep, and gets the sniper win that they needed.
let's see what's going to happen on Tan. We're going to have Nonetheless on wheels in three, two, one, playing it.
AI takes us to Windows. Seduction target just kind of bouncing around. There's a nice spot right next to them in that conversation. Never mind. There was a nice spot. And flirt paired with Smallman.
Yeah, Kuma just really going for flirt pairs this set. Hopefully, Nonetheless is checking the replays and trying to look at what's going on here to avoid taking these highlights. Now, this is something that could be used as an advantage against KumaKid if the spy. We do go for the microfilm and it's on screen, but I don't believe it was noticed. If Nonetheless notices that KumaKid is going for these early flirt pair highlights, you could get flirt paired with someone like Smallman here and then avoid them for the rest of the game so that the sniper thinks that flirt is never done.
So just took a really weird path trying to get into that conversation, but it ended up just looking like they were trying to get past and somebody turned them around. It actually looks really good, even though it was kind of a disaster.
Yeah, I was on sniper side and didn't really see anything. I think with Wheels kind of low height there, he was just hidden enough in the back. We did get a white time ad at the back of the venue there.
So the microfilm that was on camera, it's good timing though because the ambassador's at the front shelf and Queen has an opportunity to bug as the books are getting put away. So no real opportunity for. Oh man, still can't fit into that conversation. No real opportunity for KumaKid to be watching for it.
Smallman leaves that back conversation opening up a spot for us, which is good for two reasons. We're not then going to be paired with Smallman again, and we should be able to step in and flirt unless our ST leaves after this drink take. They don't.
It is hot real estate right next to Boots in this conversation.
It is.
Barely gets the flirt before she leaves. Man, the parties have not been kind to Nanthelas.
No, the whole set. He's just gotten really unlucky with a lot of this. We have an opportunity for a reverse drive-by here. We do take it, and it is completely covered. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
there's
just nothing.
no chance on Tayen to see that bug. The conversations have to be empty for that bug to be seen.
Yeah, I mean, what you really have to do on Tan is look for people that are going to the spots that have a high probability of reverse drive-bys. So that spot in specific, you need to be crediting Wheels with bug, and you need to be suspicious of him for electing to go to that spot where it's a high kind of traffic choke point for the ambassador to go through.
So we're using that time ad, and I think that's really smart. Oh, double agent, can you just stay? just not agreeing with him right now.
Yeah, flirt up to 96%. We've still got to do a microfilm and we still got to do a contact if that's going to be our path to victory here.
Acts like he's gonna go pick up the briefcase. I like that.
We're going in for the return. This is where we're likely to see the microfilm. Sniper zooms in. We're going for the microfilm. It's covered by salmon. I do not believe that was seen. We were only on the edge of the sniper's scope as they were zoomed in, and salmon was covering us. So I believe that microfilm is going to come away clean. We're going to step into the back conversation to pick up our flirt and our contact. I'd love to see a flirt with a green contact at the end of the talk animation to really mask it. I have a feeling if this is a white BB, we could actually be in trouble.
I don't know. I think that this might come off completely clean. They haven't been to statues at all, and
Yeah.
I don't think either bookshelf visit was like noticed at all.
Here we
I
go
mean,
for the white contact into the drink take. No purloin. And that's a mission win.
yeah, and really strong going for those microfilms when you have really good opportunities for them,
Hmm.
and getting. I mean, that bug is never going to be seen. So
Yeah, the bug was great. I like that play of and maybe it wasn't even on purpose, but I like that play of going for a white BB at the end of the game while Toby is offering to you, because then the sniper's sitting there and thinking, okay, this is going to be a white BB and a purloin, and they're waiting and they're waiting and they're waiting, so you're getting your mission win countdown. Then you go for the take halfway through, the guest list doesn't disappear, and then they kind of are like, well, the spy would probably be purloining right there. Why else would they have Toby hang behind them? So it's a good play that kind of buys you a little bit of mission win countdown timing.
yeah, especially a spy that, from the sniper's perspective, would be way behind because they don't have
Hmm.
prints, they don't have statues.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so a good win by Nanthelas. We're at 6-3. Nanthelas working on the comeback here, but he's going to have to get a sniper win on Tayan against KumaKid, which on paper sounds very scary. So we'll see what happens in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, and I think last season I would have called it just not likely at all. But at least with two more guests, or two less guests, Tan's manageable.
Yeah,
Especially if Coleman stays in the front like this.
your mic is picking up some reverb if you changed anything. Whoops.
Is it okay now?
Yeah,
Okay. We
that
got a bug.
was an insane bug.
Yeah, I couldn't see it at all, and I was on sniper.
Yeah, I was on sniper, and so was well, Nonetheless is always on sniper, but he was like half zoomed for that, and yeah, that the timing on that bug for the ambassador to be fully walking right there and not kind of brush up against us or stay near us, that was I think just like straight past us in a sense. That you've got to time that extremely well, so that's a very hard bug to catch, and nonetheless now in a bit of trouble with a missed bug. However, it is Tayan, so that's also kind of the tale of Tayan is credit everyone with bug.
Yeah. Credit everyone except for Taft and General right now who've just been out here in front.
We're gonna go for a real BB, which has a lot of people in except for the SDA. I don't think it would be terrible if nonetheless assumed real. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously from our perspective because we know, but that's a lot of people who have fake BB. At least maybe highlight the people who have real because there's not many. What, it's only three? Wheels, Duke, and the Spy?
Yeah, and I will say that you can be almost positive that Seek is the real double agent there. Wait, no. Mom was the double agent. Was that not a real BB for us?
I don't know, actually. Maybe she left? We'll have to check.
That's pretty rough if she left on that because you're already getting credit for being the only real.
Stepping back, we finish up Flirt for 100%. We've got a minute and 5 left on the clock. We're in convo with an SDA, and the conversations are 100% full right now. It may be worthwhile to go for a second fake. I don't know if I don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I take this fake 100% of the time. No matter which conversation I'm in, I'm BBing here when everybody's in.
What's the rationale?
It's just too powerful to give everybody a mission on Tan.
True.
Like the sniper just having one mission completely eliminated is pretty rough. We do get the two flirt though. And Smallman's being offered and rejects. We'll probably get a drink
Picks up a
here.
highlight too, or maybe had a highlight the whole time. Yeah, I think a request here is in order, especially if we plan on mission completing. KumaKid has no reason not to go for a mission complete here. We're going to go for the purloin. It is a green. It's a pretty quick reject. Laser was hanging over there. However, this party is really obscuring, and Taft ends up taking a shot.
Yep. And Taft definitely did not have a real banana bread.
And what else did Taft have? Did he have triple inspects, or there's no swap, there's no purloin? What did Taft do?
Yeah, I don't have the slightest clue.
Oh, it looks like Taft did have triple inspect. Yeah,
So,
Taft had middle inspect, but it might have been a single cycle. Let's look.
but if you remember, I said early on that him in general and actually Boots also
hmm
were just sitting in that front conversation. They did nothing for a full like minute and a half.
And it's a single inspect by Taft, which I think you can technically do with Taft if you green all of them, but Boots was holding one of the statues next to us, so I think it is impossible for Taft to have finished inspects right there.
So the only mission that they could have done really is seduce.
Yeah, seduce, and I guess that second or no, he didn't second contact as we were talking about. So yeah, not much done. I mean, bug, half an inspect. Yeah, not much for him to have finished there, and so that's GG, isn't it? That's Civ shot for seventh point for Kuma.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, that's going to be it. 7-3 in KumaKid's favor. Overall, both players played really well. KumaKid's sniper, even when he's behind or when we think he's behind, he ends up just having everything on lock. Just due to his lighting strategy, we don't always know exactly who he's on to. Nonetheless, the spy was actually really fun to watch. There was some really clever bugs and some really good green tests, but again, the party just giving him a bit of unluckiness throughout that set.
Yeah, and then things would come together really well for KumaKid
hmm
for the party.
Yeah, so I do look forward to seeing these two play in SCL7 if they both stay in silver. I think it'll be an exciting rematch. So again, that'll be 7-3. Kuma Kid takes the win. Thank you for joining me, and until next time.
Yep, thanks for having me.